What is going on? Welcome back to Desire to Inspire, your mama's favorite channel. Dylan here with my boy Derf. I'm going to hand it off to him. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about yet, but we're about to find out together.
Here we go, baby. Hope life's treating you well, Dylan.
Always. Beautiful.
I love that. Love that. Love that. It's too short not to. And that kind of actually ties in really well with the topic that I have, or even like thoughts that I've been having recently. It's kind of dark, but life is short. Life is not promised. And you don't know what direction or what's going to happen day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to get on here to just reach out to the people that you love, the people that you look up to, your friends, your family, and never hold like animosity or grudges against somebody, because at the end of the day, if that person's gone, you have to live with the regret of remembering that you never apologized to them, the regret that you wish you could have told them you loved them more, the regret that you didn't give them one last hug, the regret that you weren't there for them during hard times. And I bring all this up because there's been a lot of people in my life, both friends, family, and people that I know that know people who have had someone close to them pass away. And every story has been extremely tragic. And besides that, it's been super short notice. Like they didn't have somebody that was sick and was suffering. And it hurts. I've had a lot of people close to me pass away, and it doesn't matter if you know it's coming or you don't know it's coming. It all hits the same, and that's sadness, it's anger, it's regret that you didn't do stuff. And so I don't know, Dylan, if you've had a lot of people close to you pass away, but it's not easy. And the one thing we have to remember is that tomorrow's not promised, and that today is the first day of the rest of your life. My father used to always tell me that, and I never really truly understood the meaning until about like now probably like 7 years ago. And so that's why I wake up every day and I try to be happy. I try to spread positivity, because you never know what's going to happen, and you never know when that last time is going to be that last time. And so I know this is dark, but I don't know. I mean, I do know your story and I do know things about you, but I didn't know if you had anything to add to that, because it just kills me that it seems like every week, or at least every other week, there's somebody that I know or that knows somebody I know that this has happened to, or this is happening to. And it's just like, what can we do other than shine light on such a dark topic that's not easy to talk about? It's not easy to be like, hey, Dylan, might not be here tomorrow. I want to let you know that I fucking love you, bro. And the things that we're doing are impacting my life to make me better. And like calling my mom and being like, Mom, how's your day going? And that's what I think we forget too, is like, we live across the country from our family. It doesn't take long to call. And even if it's a minute, and just be like, hey, want to check in, see how you're doing this morning. Want to let you know that I love you. And so I'll let you go. I know that I'm going on, but it's just like, it kills me. It breaks my heart. And I want everybody to realize that life isn't promised. Stop taking things for granted and stop thinking that we deserve any of this, because we don't.
Right. And I think that that's what's important, is just kind of knowing like that every day is like your opportunity to show up and just be better. Like, so for me, I mean, obviously, like me and you both lost someone around the same time last year. And both of those were very expected, though. Like, it wasn't like it came out of nowhere. Like, they were sick, it was declining. And that kind of, I don't want to say that it eases the blow, but it gives you that opportunity to kind of go out of your way and make sure that there's nothing left unsaid. Yeah. I don't really think that I had anything that was ever left unsaid. I had a really like great relationship with my grandma, like was like my absolute favorite person in the world. And so like, I don't really ever feel like, at least on my end, I don't know how her end was, but she was also a person who said whatever the fuck was on her mind. On her deathbed, she's talking to me about how I need to make sure I'm not drinking too much, and totally against drinking, like never drink at all. So like, she would always preach that. So I know nothing was left unsaid on her end either. But that was really the first, I don't want to say the first big, but it was like the first big person in my life that I lost, because like we were just close. Like, she lived right around the corner from me growing up, like forever. And so her husband died when I was like a few years old. So my dad was like my age. He lost his sister within 3 months of that. Like there was a 3 month gap. So like I know that my dad went through a lot more than I did. And so like
Hmm.
for him, this is like kind of like his like last connection. I don't say last connection because he still has sisters,
Yeah.
but it's not the same like when like the glue is gone. So like even now, I feel like he just needs to like go out of his way and make sure like that they're all still good. You know what I mean? Like because it's very easy for them to just let everything just fall apart and then we lose contact.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty of that too, but I'm also I don't want to say like that because I definitely don't call my aunts really ever. But I have an aunt
Hmm.
that lives in Colorado I keep in touch with. I keep in touch with my parents, my brother, his family. And so like and I have a great group of friends and I think that that is something like that I really never really paid attention to like how good my group of friends really was. Like we all fuck around, like we're all like you know what I mean? Like we're we're a
Oh,
fucking shit show. But at the end of the day, like they're dudes who like 100% if something goes down are gonna be there for you.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people don't really have that, especially on like a group level like we do.
Hmm.
So like I do make sure like I think it's just kind of putting away like the stigma of I don't fucking tell my boys I love them. Like that's fucking dumb. Like
Yeah.
over the past year, I've if I talk to anybody from back home, like all right, love you, see you later. Like it doesn't matter who you are, because at the end of the day, I do, and I just feel like it's something that's not vocalized enough. And so like just letting people know, like it's that fucking simple. And like we're
Yeah.
not in this generation of dudes who can't say I love you, but for some reason it's still a fucking thing.
Yeah. It's still a stigma. I just got off the phone with my boy 30 minutes ago and I told him that I loved him. And yesterday I can remember another one. And that's the thing, bro, is that we always wait until it's too late. Like
Yep.
what it, and that's the thing is like, whether it's family or friends, it's always you're hugging people. Oh, it's good to see you. I hate that it's under this circumstance. I wish that it wasn't always like this. And it's like, it's
But it's not
another,
always like this. We just choose to not talk until
yeah,
it comes to this.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's something that is always weighing on me. So that's why I always try to reach out to the people. And I hopefully that this touches people to be like, you know what, I am going to call them or I am going to text them to see how they're doing. And even if you have a little beef or a little stigma with somebody because they made you mad a year ago, a month ago, forget about that shit. It
Yeah,
doesn't
is it
matter
worth
when
holding
people are
on
said
to?
in
Yeah.
exactly.
Most of the time, it's not. It's probably over some dumb shit, and you're just holding on to it. And then if something, God forbid, does happen, you're gonna regret it. So why not just lay this shit down now? Let it go, whatever the fuck it is, man. Like I don't know. I'm not one to hold grudges ever. Like I don't
Hmm.
know. Like it's a blessing and a curse, I guess, because like people could easily get over on me, but I don't look at it that way, man. Like it is what it is. Like everybody fucks up. Everybody makes mistakes. Like if this person is close enough for you to like hold a grudge, they should be close enough for you to be able to be like, all right, you know what? Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I read a book. Well, I've been listening to audiobooks in the gym instead of like music. The thumb just popped up.
I knew that was about that. Like as soon as I started, I'm like, oh, he's about to say something.
But I've been listening to audiobooks in the gym instead of listening to music. And I just listened to this one. It was 7 hours and 45 minutes, a book called Awareness. And it talks about all of these like little things and how, and it stemmed off of the post that I just wrote for a newsletter this week, last week, whenever you're watching this.
Right.
But it stemmed off of that. And it's just like, we always look at something and we look at it as it's built. And so like, I meet somebody new and they see me for who I am, but it's like what happened and what was the groundwork and what were the trials and tribulations that I went through to be me right now. Or it's like I meet somebody else and they introduce me to somebody and it's like, all right, well, what's their backstory? And we don't ever like fully get to know somebody or know what they went through. And I'm not saying we need to know every little bit of detail, but it's even going outside and looking at whatever and being like, what was this before it was this?
Mm-hmm.
And so the deeper meaning of that is stop looking at surface level things. And that even goes with the communication of people, like check in on people, ask how they're doing, see what's been going on in their life, see how happy, sad they are, how you can help. Because we all have areas in us and we all have things in us that can benefit somebody without us even knowing it. And so like we get a ton of responses back and like, wow, this was a really good post, or I'm glad that you posted this, or this was a great one. Like I'm going to share it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, we're just doing this to like hope
Yeah.
it attracts people. And so like actually hearing that it does means a lot.
Because we're not
Because
saying
again,
anything like that's not true. Like everything that we say is 100% authentic to us. And if
mhm,
that resonates with someone else, great. If it doesn't, it still gets it off my chest. But so
yep,
many people think that like they don't have anything to say, but everything that you've been through, someone can relate to on some level.
yeah, yep. Yeah, no, so it's just, again, remember, and I'm going to say this more times than I'm not. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, and tomorrow is not promised. Live in the moment, live for the moment, and really truly live your dreams. My biggest fear is seeing myself after I'm gone and being like, this is what I could have been, and this is what I was. And I hope that this is what I was is a lot better than this is what I was meant to be. And so that's why I'm just trying to have a big impact on the world and truly make the most of it, because if I fail, I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't care who talks
Yeah.
bad, who's this or that. Like, guess what? I learned lessons, and the next
Have
thing I
you
do is going to be even better.
have you read David Goggins' book?
Yeah,
Okay, I was about to say if not, I
I have.
suggest you read that one during 75 Hard because he has something that's like very similar to what you were just saying about like here's what I could have been and here's what I am. And he basically says like, what if when you die, you're introduced to, like the most potential like that you ever had, you're introduced to that person. And then like like this is what I could have been and I never got there. So like you get to see face to face like if I would have just done this thing, then I would have been here. And then
Yeah.
you have I mean, you don't have to live with it because you're fucking dead. But like then you're still gonna be like, well shit, I should have just fucking done it. Like
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, I guess this could be like a different topic, but it's just like holding boundaries on yourself. Like, nothing is impossible in this world. You can achieve anything you want to achieve. It's just like, again, showing up every day and pushing through the boundaries and using the people around you to stay motivated, because we all get in slumps, we all get in ruts. And again, it comes back to just living each day and each second for what it is, instead
mhm.
of being like, all right, in 5 years, I'm going to do. My least favorite question is, oh, what is your 5 year plan?
I don't got
Fuck
one.
off. I don't
I
even know
got
if I'm going to
a
be here next month.
I got a 5 day plan. That's about all I got. I
Yeah.
know what I'm doing today and how it can translate to 5 years, but I
Hmm.
don't know if I'm gonna get that 5 years. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
make the most out of today, every
Exactly.
day.
Because look at what we just went through the last 2 years. Nobody
Yep.
could have ever projected that.
Ever.
And so that made so many people crumble. It made me crumble and set back. It made, because we get whatever, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But again, we're not promised shit. We're not promised this life. Stop taking things for granted and reach out to the people that you care about and make sure life's good. Check in on them. Everybody fucking struggles.
I mean, the more like the thing is like there's probably people in your life that you mean more to and you don't even think about it. When you wrote
Mhm.
that post, I actually like started thinking about like our relationship and like because you said like how it was built and I'm like how the fuck did we end up here? Do you remember how we met?
At one of your rap concerts,
Dude,
baby.
I got a memory from like 7 or 8 years ago. It was actually my first one, my first show, and you were like in the photos. Like a mutual friend brought you to the show, and that's how we linked up. And
Yeah.
honestly, like I don't even really remember like a big pivotal moment in our relationship where we were like, okay, like let's kick it just us now. It was just
Yeah.
like gradual shifts, and then somehow we're fucking here. Like it. So the way it's built doesn't have to be fucking. You lay the base and you fucking set up the walls, and like it's insane. Like there's so many ways that like different people can impact your life. It's just how you want to maneuver and navigate, basically.
Yep.
Fucking weird, man.
And two, what energy you want to bring around.
Yeah.
And so, like, I saw the energy you were posting, and even though I wasn't posting it or like talking about it, like that shit brought us closer, because we have the same energy and we have the same drive of life and what we want to get out of it. And so I think through the years, it just started like, whether it was in the DMs or text or what, like on your post and shit like that, or just meeting up at our friend's house and
Yeah.
doing dumb shit way back in the day. Like, that all built this relationship that we have now, to be able to impact as many lives as we can. And hopefully, it goes bigger than, I know it's going to go bigger than the US, and we'll touch people in different countries
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But yeah, I know that the dreams we've set out and the things we've talked about for this platform are going to come to fruition, because we've been preaching it for a long time, and we're not just preaching it to preach it to hopefully get people to listen. Like you said, we genuinely mean it, and we want to do it. And that's because we went through shit in life that we know how bad it can get, or at least like I have my story, you have yours, to make us the people that we are. And so whether that's spreading positivity, checking in on people, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Yep.
Just living the best life and the only life you have, because the only thing that's promised in life is death. So what are you going to do before it happens?
Live.
Baby.
But yeah, I think that was
Kiss
good.
your grandmas, mamas, daddies.
I think we spun it out of something dark and came away with something decent because it was definitely dark there in the beginning.
Yeah, it was. And I think we got to have those candid conversations because,
Right.
again, people don't like talking about debt because it's hard and they don't want to, God damn that thumb. And they don't.
I wonder if I'm leaving this just because I want to know if they can see it or not.
Okay, good. But people don't talk about debt because they don't want to get embarrassed or it's hard. People don't want to talk about death because they're like, oh, I can't talk about that. Like, that's scary. That's this and that. But like, you got to shine light on the dark things to make everything else, I guess, like easier, because it keeps things top of mind, top of focus. So that way you don't let yourself, as they said in awareness, be a dead man or woman walking. And what they mean by that is not letting shit go, not moving on from certain situations, not living your best life because you're holding on to these grudges. And it's just taking life for what it is, learning, growing, developing, and just keep fucking prospering.
I like it. I like it.
I like you.
Wow. I was about to say, I don't like you, but that's not really in the spirit of this episode. So I love you.
But there you have it. Tell everybody, reach out to the people that you've been pushing off. Go and get dinner with them. But at the end of the day, stop saying you're going to do it and do it, because you don't know if you're actually going to get that chance or not if you wait too long. So from me to you, I love you. You're powerful. You're great. You're beautiful. Whatever the fuck it is, you are you. Be you. Live your best life and live today like it's the first day of the rest of your life, baby.
Subscribe to the channel. That's what we're here for.
Do that.